streaming. And hopefully this will all work. That is the plan. And if it doesn't work, you all will tell me if it doesn't work. So let's get the stream going, and we'll kick things off here. And once, okay, it looks like we're live now. So what we're going to be doing today is my first impressions of the valve index. I'm going to have a hard time confusing the Vive with the valve. So I unboxed this a little bit earlier on the extras channel, and in a little bit we're going to hook it up to my PC and get going. What I was going to do is kind of take you through the entire setup process from start to finish, and then when we're done, I will have hopefully a verdict. And what we're going to do is just do a couple of games. Hopefully we'll have it all working in a few minutes and kind of go from there. I've got the headset out right now. This is what it looks like. It is a lot sleeker than the HTC Vive I'm replacing with this. And one of the things that I really like about it, and I'll get in a little bit closer here, is the fact that they have the front cushion here on magnets. So you can just pop it out. Make the camera refocus here. You can just pop it out and then put it back in. So if you have friends coming over or something and you don't want, you know, some slimy thing, you can have one that you use for guests. You can clean it in between visitors and whatnot, and you've got that as something you can easily just replace when somebody else comes in to use it. So that is really cool. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to get the sensors going, because that is the first step of this whole operation. Now what I've got over here is one of the sensors. I put the other one up over on the other side of the room. So you have two of them, and you got to put them up a little high. And what I'm going to do is just use my phone here and use this as a secondary camera with my NDI app here. I'm hoping the stream is going to be okay because I am at yellow right now. We'll see how long this works for. So what I'm going to do here is just head over to the other device I've got here. I'm going to switch my camera. There we go. This NDI thing is actually working here. So this is what the sensor looks like, and all it has to do is be plugged into power, and then it has to be in range of the other one. And what I've been doing with my sensors is mounting them on one of these cheap lighting brackets that you can get on Amazon. And as you can see here, I've got another bracket here that converts to the 1/4-inch connector on it. But there is a tripod mount at the bottom, so you can put it on a tripod if you want. They also have a wall mounting bracket in the box. So this one's pretty much good to go. And I'm going to switch my camera view back here to camera 1. This is my first OBS stream, by the way. And what we're going to do now is just put the sensor up. Actually, I'm going to plug it in first. So I've got my cables here. The cables for the sensors are longer than they are for the Vive, so I think you're going to have a little more flexibility on the sensor placement. And the first step here, is to get these things hooked up, and they do have a power adapter in the box also. I'll show you what that looks like. Thank you, Josiah, for your super chat. There's an echo, huh? Audio is feeding back. So I think I've got two audio sources going here. Let's take a look. Is it better now, everybody? I'm not sure. It may have just been when I switched over to that camera. Let me put this down here and see if that is better. I didn't hear it when I was recording before, so if you could all let me know. And let me go back over here and see if this is better. Okay, so it's on camera 2. Yeah, so you know what it was? I must have had my phone audio was probably going, so I will fix that on the next go around here. So let me adjust that real quick. OBS is a little bit of a different animal versus my other thing here. So let me go to the phone source here, and let's make sure that, okay, I see what happened. Yep, the phone was like way up, so we'll turn that down. All right, so that won't happen again. All right, so now we are back, hopefully, and you'll be able to see me. I've got my Mac here running with the live stream at the same time. All right, there we go. All right. Okay, so we're good to go there. Now I'm getting an error that my keyframes are not being sent often enough, which will cause buffering. The current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds. So I'm just going to look at my settings on the stream. I may have to restart the stream if that's the case, but let's see if I can adjust that. And it looks like there's no options for, must be in the advanced settings. You know what, I'm just going to let this roll and we'll see how this goes. And then I will start watching some videos on how to make this work better. All right, so I've got the plug here. Pretty simple, just plug it in, but they have a nice long cable, which is a real improvement over the prior version. So you can probably put these a little bit further away from your wall without the need for extension cables. So I'm just going to get this one plugged in here, and we'll run this over to this and plug that in. Sorry, everybody, I'm showing you my butt, I think. All right, there we go. And now I'm just going to lift this up and get it up to a decent height. And I kind of have them angled down a little bit, just because you want to have them, they have to be in view of each other, but you also have to make sure they're picking up the room. So I think this should be okay here. So that one is plugged in, it is on. I'm going to plug the other one in. And I already have Stream VR installed because again, Vive now, so I think I should be okay on that front. Next is the controllers, which I have here. They came fully charged also, and I did these during the unboxing, but in case anyone's curious, I will show you what this looks like. And if everyone can just let me know if the stream is still working. It looks like it is. So the way these controllers work, and they're kind of cool, is that you tighten it up here at the bottom, let that focus in, and then they stay on your hand. And what happens here is that there's a capacitive sensor, and we'll see how this works in practice. There's a capacitive sensor here on this part of the controller to detect your fingers. But you can just kind of flop your hand around here and everything seems to be staying in place there. So I want to make sure my autofocus on the camera is on. Let's make sure that is on auto. Yeah, I think we are good. Yep, we're good. Okay, so that's how the controllers work, and there's one for each hand, obviously. And then all you do is get it comfortable, and then you pull the string, and now they stay put. And I really kind of like these. In fact, I prefer them just in holding them. I haven't used them yet, of course, but I prefer them to the originals there. So, all right, so everybody says the stream is good. I'm not sending enough keyframes, which is going to be potentially a problem down the road. Okay, so we got the controllers going. Now, my experience with the Vive is that they like these controllers to be visible to the sensors. So we're going to put them on the floor here so that they can be picked up. And the other thing we're going to do is close the baby gate. This was originally designed for my children, but now it's designed for me so I don't fall down the stairs. All right, so I'm getting excited here. So the next step is to plug in the headset. And we've got a bunch of stuff here that has to be plugged in. One is power, and there's going to be a power adapter in that box that I've got to get out. It also connects up to DisplayPort and to a free USB 3 port on the computer. And what I'm going to do is find that power adapter and get this going. I'm a little concerned with cable length on this. We'll see if it's better than the Vive. The Vive had like a breakout box, and then it went from there. So hello, everybody, and I'm going to do my best to follow around on the chat here because I'm going to be inside of this thing, and I'm not going to be able to see anything. So hopefully you all will let me know how it's going. All right, so let me go get that cable, power cable out of here. All right, so they give you actually a good amount of length on the power cable, but not the other cable. So we'll see. We'll see how this does. All right, so get that going. All right, so now I'm going to place this on the ground here. And we're going to get those cables installed in the back. That's the one problem with your desktop tower PC is that a lot of times the cables are in, all the connections are in the back. I'm going to bet there's a kink in this cable. That's not good. Hopefully it's not going to do any damage here. This cable's is kinking easily. So just be careful with it when you unwind it. And I thought there'd be like a breakaway thing, but it doesn't appear to be. There is a break apart, but it's not a clean breakaway. So if you go too far, you'll take your computer with you. Actually, the cable length might be good on this. All right, so we're good here. Actually, I'm pleased with the cable length. I thought it was going to be shorter, but I think it's about the same, if not a little bit longer. And you have a little bit of room on the power cable also. All right, so the next step for me is to get under my desk here. And this is my second office. So, oops, I have a little thing I set up here in my bonus room. And my TV is in, this is where the home theater is and everything. So that's that. Let me see if anybody's chatting here. Okay. Everybody says the stream is going well, which is very helpful. I'm going to monitor everything here. Yeah, I think we're pushing my luck with the keyframes here, so we'll see how this goes. And some of you asked what the first game was going to be. I'm going to try out, actually, Space Pirate Trainer for a couple of reasons. One is that I am very curious as to the black levels on the display inside of the Index headset. And that's been one of the open-ended questions because it's not using OLED like the Vive and I believe the original Oculus Rift uses. So those displays obviously have much deeper black levels. And Space Pirate Trainer is a great game to test with that. So we're going to look at that. The other reason why I'm using Space Pirate Trainer is that they have tuned it for the Index's higher frame rate. So there's a couple of reasons why we're going to do that. And I am just going to pop under my desk here, plug in the power, and we're going to plug everything else in here. What I usually do is I unplug my VR stuff when I'm not using it. Just like that. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, this cable is definitely longer than the Vive, and I'm very satisfied with the length. So that's good. All right, let's get under here. No peeking, everybody. And let's see if I can get this DisplayPort connector. It connects via DisplayPort and not via, let's get that in there. Okay, I'll put it in this one. Okay, there we go. It connects via DisplayPort and not HDMI. All right, so that's connected. And now the next thing we're going to do, let me switch over to the computer view. And hopefully we don't lose audio here. So the next thing we're going to do is connect to Steam VR. And let's see if we get, oh no, my color went out again. Oh no, I was having this problem before. All right, so it is found, okay, it found both base stations. And we're going to go room scale. Let me see if I can fix this color problem here while we're in the middle of this. This is my cam link. So let's see if we can change the color here and see if that might. Yeah, it's not going to fix it. Darn it. It was working a few minutes ago. Actually, it was working up until we decided to do this, and then it just stopped giving us the right colors. Well, we're going to just roll with it for now. And if anyone has some ideas for me, that would be helpful. All right, so we're going to clear the floor space. We're going to turn on the controllers. All right, so we need to turn the controllers on. So let me do my 2-up view here. See how well prepared I am, minus the color problems? If any OBS experts are in the room, you can let me know. All right, so we got the controllers on, and we should see these now popping up on there. Okay, there we go. So it's found the controllers. Controller ready, controller ready. Okay, so now, if I'm not mistaken, what we're going to do is draw out a, yeah, so we're going to look at the monitor, and we're going to point our controller at the monitor here. There we go. And click next. All right, and then we're going to calibrate the floor. So we're going to put these back on the floor. And we're going to do calibrate floor, okay. All right, now we're going to do the boundaries. And what I'm going to do here is just pull my chair in a little bit so that I don't walk into it. And this is exactly the same process that you'll do on the Vive. So I'm just going to hold down the trigger. And yep, there it goes. And I'm feeling a little bit of haptic feedback as I'm drawing this out. And you can see it's seeing the base stations there as well. And all I have to do is just kind of walk around here and finish up this square. There we go. And this is not perfect, of course, but it's good enough. All right. Okay. Yes, I think we should be okay on the frame rate. And the reason is that I do have a 1080 in this computer, so I think it's not perfect, but it should be enough. All right, so click next. All right, so now we are ready to go here. Now, I think if I put this headset on, you're not going to see this, but I will. So let me put this on real quick. And I'm going to tell you my first impressions of the index. So let's, whoa. Okay. So it is more, it's a little heavier. I mentioned that before in the, when I was doing the other, okay, there we go. Well, I'll tell you what, right out of the gate here, let me get these controllers in my hand here. Right out of the gate, I will say that this feels, it's a lot crisper. In fact, it is really crisp. So there's definitely a higher resolution. What I am noticing, though, and it's kind of disconcerting, is that there's a bit of a, yeah, okay, so let's go get this hand last. You're not seeing what I see right now because I'm in the detected. Valve.
Welcome, robot test subject, to the Aperture Science for the
I'm going to get this Aperture Hand Lab. We're going to start with this because this kind of shows off the controllers, so it's going to download for a second. Now what I can do with this is actually just tilt up the headset like that, so I can easily jump around and see what you all are saying and how this is working. So yeah, you guys will see something soon. The color is going to be totally off because I can't figure out why the color is just out of whack on this all of a sudden. I think it might have something to do with the color that I'm sending over from my monitor. So let me do a quick investigation of that. There's one issue that I'm seeing right now inside the headset is that I feel like I'm getting a little bit of a rolling shutter. And that concerns me because it seems like it's wavy. It's not like a clipping, it's just a weird waviness. And let me see if I can resolve this color issue here. So let's go over to the computer and change back to RGB maybe and see if that fixes it. Nope. See, this was the same problem I had before. It was like, it was doing this, and then I switched the color format. Yeah, we're just going to come back to this later. All right. And of course, there's firmware updates already, but we'll do those later too. All right, hang on one second, everybody. All right. Hopefully, you just bear with the bad color. We'll get the rest of it worked out as we go here. All right, so let me get going with this thing. Yeah, so all right, there we go. So let's, all right, so I'm going to start a VR game here. And you should hopefully see this, although it's going to be completely out of whack. Okay. So, all right, so some first impressions. First of all, it's much crisper than the Vive. The image quality is much, much better. You're still seeing some pixels and whatnot. It's not, you know, it's not like a 4K kind of image. But it's pretty cool. All right, let me just flip this up real quick and make sure that...
Welcome, robot test subject, to the Aperture Science for the of word deleted. You will not be told the purpose of your test today.
Right, so
we will not be told why you are performing them.
Right, so, and that waviness I was experiencing before is still...
No one involved will have any idea why anyone is doing anything. For the purpose of this classified exercise, your
barbed meat stripping claws
have been replaced with
hands.
Please raise your
so here you can see my hands
up to your
neck-mounted weapons platform,
which for the purpose of this exercise has been replaced with a
face.
All right, so what I'm going to do here is get up to my 2-up view so you can see.
Please raise your
hands
up to your
face.
All right, there we go.
Good.
And what I don't
Please exit the elevator. Exit the elevator through the open elevator doors.
Okay. I don't have audio. I don't think you all have audio.
Good.
All right, so
you are now ready to begin the hand-assisted, non-verbal machine-human communication training.
Much better than the Vive
Please approach the training
does,
platform.
But yeah, it's just
Please
getting
approach
this
the
weird
platform.
distortion when I turn my head. It's like
you have not approached the platform. It is in front of you.
it's not good.
Please approach it.
And it might just be, it could be one of those
You have
firmware
failed
things. I
to
don't think
approach the
headset had a
platform.
firmware update.
If you approach
So
it
it looks
now,
fine.
you will
just that when I
succeed.
turn my head, I'm getting this rolling shutter. You're not going to be able to see this.
Do not worry.
On
This
your,
platform
your
was
end.
designed to be approached.
It's like distorting as I'm moving back and forth here. Yeah, even when I put my hands
Approach
on
the platform.
headset. It's just like a little bit. I wonder if it's this tracking issue.
Approach the
Sure,
platform.
It's tracking just fine. All right, so let's teleport over to this thing here.
Good. Deploying first exercise.
Now here's how the controllers work. You can see as I'm gripping harder, see that meter right there? It's getting...
Hello, I am Frank, a friendly human. I like you, so I am waving to you. To consummate this wave exchange, raise your hand. Open
Yeah,
it,
it looks
then
good.
swing it gently from
Yeah,
side to
it does
side.
look good.
That is waving.
Yeah,
It means you like me, like I like you, which I am demonstrating by waving.
I'm going to have to read up on it.
Good! We are now bonded in eternal friendship.
Good.
I wonder if it just didn't
Deploying
have it
next
tight enough.
exercise.
I didn't turn the audio on, so I
And
can't
here's
exactly
what's gonna happen.
That might take a break.
I'm gonna shake my fist, this fist,
Protecting my thumb when I put the
you,
thumb down.
and there's not a thing.
One of the neat things about VR, this is definitely
Shake,
really
shake,
good
shake, 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 shake.
so far here. One of the things
You
about
get
VR
to
is
shake
that it is in 3D.
You just stand
So,
there and
you're
watch.
actually seeing
This
the
is your
depth
world
of
now.
the scenes that you're in.
Me shaking this fist.
That's excellent.
Shake, shake,
That's
shake,
not
shake,
that
shake, shake.
distortion issue. I wonder if it's just because it's not tight enough on my head. So, let me
Yeah, you like fist shaking, don't you? Oh, now you went and did it, didn't you? Well, guess what, pork chop? Just when you think you got the answers, I change the
headsets.
questions.
Always about getting the right
Double shake, double shake, double shake, double shake.
A couple other things I'm noting here beyond the little waviness issue
You keep
is
those hands down by
field
your
of view
hips.
is much better.
Like two
So I'm seeing
little
more out of my peripheral vision. I'm still seeing,
floating on a
some black
plastic
borders on the
ball.
side, but it's far less.
So,
Good. Deploying
That is
next
good.
exercise.
This tracking is excellent.
Hello, it is me again, Friendly Frank, who you murdered after I
What's also
only
nice
wanted
is
to be
that
your friend.
the
I
Steam
clawed my
menu
way out of
doesn't
that pit
come
of
up now
despair
every
with a
time I push
singular
the button.
purpose, to come face to face with you once
Although I don't
more
know how to
and
summon
finally
this thing
exact
now, so
more
there's some other
friendship.
controls somewhere
Now,
that
give
go
me
with that.
5.
Let me take a quick break from this real quick and let's see if any of you are
Give
saying
me
anything.
5. 5 representing the forefingers and one thumb on your dominant hand. Flattened out and thrust forcibly, but non-threateningly, into mine. That is 5, which I grant consent to be given by you,
You
my
guys
friend,
can't hear me at
to
all?
me, your friend, Friendly Frank. Give me 5.
All right, hang on, everybody.
Give me 5.
Number 1 here. So it looks like you guys couldn't hear me at all, huh? All right, so let me give you some impressions here. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let's see if you all can hear me. Some impressions here. Hopefully you can hear me now. Let's see if you. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So the game audio was too loud. So give me a second here, everybody.
Me 5. Give me 5.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Give
Game audio
me
was too
5.
loud. So give me a second here. Okay. So I have hopefully fixed that. All right. So let me tell you what my impressions are so far here. It's good. The visual quality is well beyond that of the Vive. That was immediately noticeable. I am seeing a bit of jelly vision as I'm moving my head back and forth, and I liken this to the rolling shutter that you see sometimes on a digital SLR camera. So let me put it back on again here and see if maybe it was just the fit that was causing that. It was funny. You guys were hearing the game audio. It's not coming out of my speakers yet, so I gotta play around with some of this here, but. Yeah, I'm still seeing like it's a little bit of a weird perspective thing. And it's funny because I'm so used to my Vive that there's something. Maybe it's better now. I think it's a matter of just how. I think it was sliding back and forth on my. Yeah, so that'll do it. So all right. So this is what was going on with it. The tracking is so good. No, it's still happening. All right, so I'm looking back here at this fort in the back here. Let me switch back to the game here so you can see what's. Oh, you're seeing it. Okay. And you can't see this, but the 42 is just like not tracking the way it should. It's like it's moving. but not in a natural way. Like it should not move. It should stay right there.
Give me 5.
And I don't think it's just the game, because I was noticing it in the other thing also.
Give me 5.
All right, so let's pick these up. Now, one of the great things about VR and how well this tracks is that when you want to pick up your controllers, they're in reality exactly where they are virtually, which is just awesome. So.
Give me 5. Good. Now, up high.
There we go.
Now for the third.
I'm getting a little bit of haptic feedback on this.
Down low.
Deception detected.
Too slow.
Okay, now how do we get out of the game? Like, let's say I wanted to get to the Steam menu.
Friendly Frank survived that fall. He's dead. You killed him. No, I am Deceptive David. Or is it Kevin? It's not. Or is
Let's
it?
get another button somewhere else. It'd be good if they put the button somewhere really far away so you don't hit it by accident, which I was doing all the time before.
Trial of handly cunning called rock, paper, scissors. Are you ready to be deceived? No? Good. On
Yeah, I'm
three.
gonna have to look into
Ready?
this jellyvision thing, 'cause this could be.
2, 3.
Yeah, it's
I
just
am
not
up
right.
here, trying to deceive you.
And it could
As hard
be
as I can. I'm really trying.
that big
okay?
light I've got on
I'm
here, but
putting it
everything else is
together.
tracking fine. So,
You're dropping the ball.
actually, you know what? No, it isn't. Okay, so
We're getting it, we're
yeah, when I
changing
pass
it.
by where the
Let's
studio
try
light
this
is, that's
one
when
more
things are
time.
getting wacky. So let me
On 3.
let me
Ready?
go over there and turn off that light. I think that might be what's causing our problem here. So
It's a contest of
I'm gonna go
requires
quit this
some
game real quick.
action on your part. Let's try
Figure
this
out
again.
how.
On
There we go. All right, so let's quit that. And I also need to figure out where the, oh, maybe it's that button there that pulls it up. Okay. I'm going to kill this light, so video quality is going to take a major decline, but I think that's what was throwing it off. So let me go back over here to the 2-up. Okay, so yeah, so it's not going to be as good visually for you, but this might resolve the issue. So I'm going to actually load up Space Pirate Trainer next, and I also want to figure out why I can't hear audio out of this yet. So let me go into my settings, and let's see. Okay, so the refresh rate's only at 90. I want it higher than that. But we're not detected by the graphics driver. Please verify your headset firmware and graphics drivers are up to date. So my graphics drivers are definitely up to date. Let's see if I can update device. All right, let's see if there's a headset update here. That might be part of the issue too. Well, I will say on first impression here that it is very good. I think the jelly vision thing I was having was a result of that bright light over there, which is now off. So hopefully that will resolve that problem. And what I want to do now is see if I can get the frame rate higher, because the test that I really want to do first is on Space Pirate Trainer, which is a game that is very dark. So it's going to look at the bright, the black levels, and we're going to see if we can get that frame rate turned up there. All right, so it looks like it is doing an update of the headset. So we'll let that do its thing real quick here. Thank you, Maurice, for your super chat contribution. So make sure I didn't miss anybody else. And what I'll try to do here, there's so many people on the stream that are commenting. So, all right, let's see here. Okay. So Jason, the field of view is very good on this, better than the Vive. It's still not like 100, a full real vision, but it's much better. The big thing that I've noticed here so far is that I have to walk over to the camera because it's so far away here. The big thing that I've noticed so far is that the image is much, much crisper and cleaner. And there's not as much light bleeding into the headset on this as there was on the Vive. So it's immediately noticeably better. And that's even only at 90 hertz. So we're going to jump back over here and see if that, it's still updating the headset. So when that headset update is done, we'll see how the rest of it looks here. Because we are, at the moment, only at 90 hertz. And this thing can go up to like 120 on its normal mode. And there's like 144 that it can do also. Let's see what else we got here. Double Dipper wants to know how much it costs. So without the PC, just for the kit with the sensors, the controllers, and the headset, $1,000. So yeah, it's not cheap. I love VR because it's kind of reminding me of the Atari 2600 to some degree, in that it's a lot of experiences that people are experimenting with. It's kind of an early go at it. But the experience, even on the Vive, is so good that it's something that is just, when you try it, it's just like, wow, this is awesome. And I really, this is like something I do when I'm just hanging around the house. I just boot it up and start playing around with it. So I'm really actually pleased with the upgrade as far as the image quality is so far. It's really, really, really good. Okay, let me see what's going on here. I'm getting phone calls in the middle of my stream here. So Jason wants to know, can you use your eyeballs to look around, or do you just turn your head? No, you have to use your, you have to turn your head. Yeah, so Zosu, my next step here after the firmware is done updating is that we are going to boot up a game where we can really get a feel for the black levels, and that's the big difference between the two. And this is one of those things because the black levels on this will not be as good, I'm guessing, as the Vive is, because we are now with an LED screen versus an OLED screen. But with the LED, you have much faster refresh rates, and the display itself will have less motion blur. So there's like this trade-off here that you're kind of dealing with. So we'll see how it comes together. But I think right now, though, if you really just want to start playing around with VR, I think the best entry-level solution, even though it's $400, is the Oculus Quest. It's really good. It's well supported. I think it's selling, so I think people are actually going to be buying it, which means there'll be software for it. So all those things. All right, let's go. Yeah, so Londog, I think the big lighting issue was that light I had there. I think the room lights we have should be okay now, and the room is kind of dim. Let's check on that firmware update. It is still going. So we'll let that finish up here, and then we'll come back and see what else is happening. Let's see if we had any other comments that I missed here. Yeah, so I really appreciate everybody tuning in, because this is kind of like my workflow here. When I'm doing a product evaluation, I usually just play with it for a while and see what comes up. I tried the Lenovo Explorer, Mr. Chan. It's actually pretty good. And there's a bunch of Windows mixed reality devices that are decent. HP has one that's got 4K on it now, so that one is like really, really good. Xmail wants to know, is the center the sharpest area? Actually, it looks pretty sharp throughout. I think it's a matter of getting the headset on the right way. Given how it adjusts, I think it really wants to be as close to your head as possible, but it's much clearer in all the different areas that I'm looking so far. So I've noticed just a dramatically better image quality. And part of it's due to the increase in resolution, but the display itself and the lenses are much crisper. It just looks a lot better. In fact, I think if I went back to the Vive, I probably would not want to use it already, and it's only been 5 minutes. So, all right, so let's see where we're at on that update. Yeah, this is one of those things, right? It's like you still updating. So we will let it do its thing. I wish there was like an indicator to tell you what it was doing. But here's my concern, is that people are going to get this thing and they're not going to be, I mean, at least for me, it's at 90 hertz, and that's all they're going to get. My gut is, if this doesn't do the higher refresh rate, is that because I'm streaming the screen, that might be having an impact on it. So I'm really eager now to see what the difference is in my experience with it. And that's one of the hard things in reviewing a headset like this, is that I can't share with you the experience. You can see what I'm doing, but you can't get a sense as to what the experience is with it. So Tommy Van Pelt says, hey, I'm here, now you can begin. Yeah, we began, but we've got to do a firmware update. So we're going to let that finish up on the thing there, and once we do that, we'll pop back in. Yes, that JVC CRT behind me, that came out of my dad's house. And I was on a quest to acquire as many retro consoles as I could which are all now inside of that cabinet there. And I have the switch box and all this stuff set up. And then what happened? FPGA consoles came out, and then suddenly we got all this great replication of the originals, and I haven't done much with that since. But I do some light gun games on there on my NES every once in a while. Uncivilized, as far as heat and motion sickness, I will let you know about both. I haven't had it on my head long enough, so we'll wait for that firmware to finish up. And Zosi says the old Vive was also a pentile display versus the RGB stripe of the Index. Yeah, it looks a lot better. I mean, it really does. I'm really impressed. And Eric Bazinga is working, so he's watching, but he can't jump in on any games that we might try to play later. Oh, Tommy, is that one of the that Atari? Is that the Atari PC that was in Terminator 2? I remember seeing that at my Toys R Us, thinking how cool it was. And that was what he used to hack the thing there. All right, we are still waiting for the headset to finish updating. There's no indicator. Oh, okay. Ha. All right, let me show you what's on screen here. This cracks me up. And by the way, the color of my screen is off because the color settings are all out of whack and I can't fix it. Okay, headset successfully. You may need to unplug and replug your headset's power cable for it to register as updated. All right, so we're going to let that restart, and we're going to kill power to the headset, which means I've got to go all the way. Where is that cable going? Over here. Let's see. There it is. All right, so we'll kill power and plug it back in again. Okay. All right, everybody, let's try this again. Go to my 2-up view. OBS is working pretty well, minus my issues with color coming in through my cam link thing here. So usually I use my TriCasters. This is like, oh wait, my computer is locked up now. What's going on here, everybody? Yikes. Yeah, it's completely frozen. Yep. Wow. That, like, it is completely frozen. All right, so do we just, like, reset the computer? This computer never does this. Yeah, it is. Not even my caps lock key's working there, and the hard drive's going. Let me see if I'm getting anything out of the headset here. Yeah, headset is dark, so I think the video card has like frozen up on this thing. So, well, yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, this is like how it happens every time we stream. So, all right. Hopefully the computer comes back. If anybody's wondering, this sign is, I ran for the Board of Ed here in my town. That's my sign. So people can vote for me. All right, let's let this boot up here. I'll type in my thing here, and let's log back in. Hopefully the computer will come back to life. All right, so far so good. Although I'm not happy about the fact that my computer just locked up. That computer, I built that myself. It has never locked up ever. Ever. So let's see if everything's working now. I think something related to plugging that headset back in is what did it. All right, let's get back into Steam here real quick. And let's see what happens here. All right, so let's go put it up on screen here. And let me show you what I'm looking at. So we're going to go, oh, and now we have nothing coming back to this thing. So let me, and it could be related to, this does it here. Please don't make me reboot this thing that I just spent hours setting up. Let's go and look at the control panel here. Yeah, something's just not sitting well with this computer right now. Wow, something's wacky. I wonder if I'm having some power problems here, because we've had some storms coming through. Oh, you know what it is? No, that's not it, because it's not plugged into that one. It's almost like there's a key stuck or something. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to unplug the headset completely from the USB and plug it back in again. Let's see if that changes anything. Huh, you know what it was doing? It was sending over some weird key presses. Gosh, this is like so weird. All right, and now, of course, you can't see anything on here, so I'm going to unplug the cam link and plug it back in again, and hopefully that will fix it. If not, we have to cycle the stream here and reboot OBS. At least you guys saw some of it working. Yes, it's not working. All right, well, what I think I'm going to do anyhow is just kind of keep, you know what I'm going to do instead here? Here's what we're going to do instead. We are going to nix this cam link thing altogether, and I am going to run NDI over to this thing, and we'll see if this does it better. So let's go load up my NDI tools here. Scan converter. This will eat up a little bit of CPU, but it will work. So we're going to just do that. All right, we're good there. And I'm going to add a new NDI source here. We're going to say scan converter. And now we'll have the color proper too. And like I said, it'll eat a little bit into the CPU, but I don't think it's going to be all that bad. All right, let's hit that. Okay, and do we see anything? Boom, look at that. All right, so now we're back in business there. I'm going to resize this a little bit. And let's get Steam back up. And hopefully this works better now. All right, so we're good there. And I just want to see if there's any other settings I need to... Yeah, I think we're good. All right, and then the audio source, we're going to have it be the system audio so that you guys can hear some of this as it comes through. And I'm also going to move this behind my camera. And let's just go and, oops, I don't want to do that. Let's go check. Spark is going. And, all right. Scan converter is like way up, so we're going to turn that down a little bit. All right, good. Now, next step. Plug the headset back in. Done. And now we're going to do a VR boot up. And let me go check and see what you all are saying to me, because I have not been watching the chat, because I've got computers all over the place, but none with the chat window up. Okay. And there's some talk that my audio is a little low, so I'm going to turn it up a little bit. I'm still experimenting with all of this here, so hopefully that sounds a little better. Okay. Okay, here we go. So now it's telling me that we have a 2, 1, where's my 1 up? 3? Oh, I got to switch this to the other thing here. Bear with me for one more second, everybody. Kill that. And we're going to add the NDI source. We're going to add existing. We're going to choose my scan converter. Okay, there we go. All right, so now it's giving us the option for the higher refresh rate. So I'm going to go to 120 hertz first. Actually, let's go for the Gusto. What the heck? All right, so we're going to go to 144 and restart Steam VR. And when it comes back up, hopefully we will have some stuff going there. Now we'll try to make sure I minimize that window there. Okay, so we're good. So far, I think we're in good shape here. Okay, so I'm going to minimize the Steam VR window here. And now what I'm going to do is let's load up Space Pirate Trainer. Where did I put those controllers? Here they are. So we're going to load up Space Pirate Trainer and see how this does. And I've got until about 10 p.m. Eastern time because my wife and kids are out, but they will be back. And when they get back, that means I got to help everybody get to bed. They went to a fireworks thing tonight, and I was able to stay home and play with my new toy. All right. Okay, so let me get this on and comfortable. All right, there we go. Yeah, it's, you know, it's still, I'm still seeing some of that jelly vision to it. Oh, it's dying on me too. What's going on with this thing? All right, you guys can't see anything yet because I'm in the, they have this room that you can get set up on here. And what I'm going to do now is load up Space Pirate Trainer. If I can find it on my list of apps here so you can see what that looks like. And let's see if here it is, Space Pirate Trainer. Oops. Oh, it's like still moving here. Come on, load it up. Man, this thing's totally whack. What is this? All right, God, things are happening in here that are not. All right, let's go back to Space Pirate Trainer here if I can get it to scroll. All right. Okay, we're going to launch Space Pirate Trainer now. And I'm assuming I'm at this new frame rate here. So I'll tell you what, going to 144 hertz looks like it impacted the visual quality a little bit. While this loads up, let me make sure that... Okay, so you guys are seeing a bunch of stuff on screen here. And let me get this off. And I can't do much about the way the screen looks right now, but you'll get an idea as to what I'm seeing, I think. And it looks like you're not hearing any audio. I am hearing audio out of the speakers here. I'll tell you what, these speakers actually sound pretty good. All right, let's try this out real quick here. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to tell you that yeah, so I think from the black level standpoint, let me put these off my ears for a second here. From the black level standpoint, it's definitely not as deep of a black as the Vive, because it doesn't have the OLED. But the visual quality is definitely better. And the frame rate's better too. So I'm pretty sure that this game supports the 144 hertz. I'm going to double check that in a second. And I know you guys aren't seeing much of a good image right now because it's like got this big white area on screen, but it does appear. Man, I'm still kind of seeing that jelly vision there. Yeah, you know what it is? If you don't have the headset really secure on your head, that's when you get that jelly vision. Because the headset's like flopping around a little bit and it's tracking that movement. It's not as bad as it was before when I had the light on, but I wonder if... Yeah, all right. I did not mean to do that either. I hit the pituitary thing there. All right, so let me go back to the game here. Yeah, so I'll tell you what, visually it is much improved over the Vive. Black levels are not as good, but it's not bad. The images are just so much cleaner, and I think that makes up for it. I don't have like a real glow here like you would see in a lousy LCD screen, and the images just look so much better. So I think that's there. Tracking feels nice and crisp. Yeah, I think overall it's looking pretty good here. Yeah, oops, sorry, I got killed here. I was looking around. But yeah, not bad. I like these controllers quite a bit. I wasn't sure, how they would work out, but so far they're doing pretty good here. So let me jump out of this real quick. And let's see what we got. I'm going to go down to 120 hertz. I want to see if the image gets better, because it doesn't look, inside the waiting room here, it doesn't look as crisp. And I accidentally hit the IPD adjustment, and now I have no idea what it should be set at. I'm hoping there's some kind of configuration utility for the IPD, because I never found that on the Vive before. All right, so let me take this off real quick, and let me see what you all are saying. And we'll try another game here. Let's see. Yeah, the game audio, everybody, it's a hit or miss thing. I think it either comes out of the headset or it comes out of there, but not both. Let me go and put the headset back in view of the base stations here. Oops. So I'm actually curious to see. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to switch it now to the other resolution and see if that gives us a better image. My understanding is that this 120 is kind of their baseline. So let me show you what I'm looking at here. Oh, I wonder if that's what I'm seeing. So it's got this motion smoothing option, and that synthesizes new frames to maintain a good experience when the running application cannot keep up. I'm going to turn that off. And I might just leave this thing running here too. So let's go to 120 hertz. And let's restart Steam VR. I just want to see if the image looks better, because I noticed a bit of a decline in the image quality when I went down to that other level there. And I will update the controllers here in a minute too. Well, after I'm done streaming, I think I'll do that. Combative Themes wants to know about the brightness. It seems fine. I didn't notice any decline in brightness when I put it on. It still looks fine to me. I'm not necessarily a connoisseur, so that could be part of it too. All right, so let's take a look at I think it did relaunch. So let me put the headset back on here. I'll give you my 2-up view again. And let's go to 2, 4, there we go. Okay, so let me put the headset back on. Yeah, it looks about the same. But yeah, I'm getting that jelly vision again. So I'm seeing, you guys can't see this unfortunately, but I'm inside of the room that they have, like the demo room that they have. And let me tighten it up here a little bit. Yeah, so when I'm looking at this square in front of me here. And as I tilt my head back and forth, it's like I'm looking at a digital SLR. There's like this jelly vision going on here. I'm gonna have to go on some of the forums here and start talking to folks and just see if they're experiencing what I'm experiencing. There's definite jelly vision going on here. And I thought maybe it was doing that frame thing. It was introducing some additional frames, but it gets distorted as I'm turning my head. And I'm not changing where my eyes are, so it's not even the lenses. So yeah, that's like, ooh. And I'm noticing it in some of the games too. It's tracking just fine, but it's, yeah. So I wish you could see what I'm seeing, unfortunately, but I'm gonna have to look into this. And then what else is happening here is that the display is turning off and then coming back on again. So yeah, this is just not, it's like dizzying. So I'm not going to yak on you guys or anything, but it's just not, it's not good. Not good. Yeah, so I'm really seeing this pretty bad here. Okay, so let's try another game. Let's go back to that hand lab, actually. I see my controllers over there. So it's actually tracking the controllers all the way over here, which is interesting. Let me see if you all have comments. All right, so I think I should... Yeah, actually, that's exactly, it's like rolling shutter. It's exactly what I'm seeing in here. Yeah, let me go up the, mirror the audio if that's an option in Steam VR. Audio. Oh, here we go, audio. All right, so we're gonna mirror this to, let's go to speakers here. All right, so hopefully you all will be able to hear this now. All right, so let's go over to something else. Let me pull up, let's see. Let's try this one. This one's kind of fun. Yeah, so it's definitely, this rolling shutter thing is terrible. I can't be the only one having this problem, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get some more information about it. Speakers, though, these headphones are great. Now here's an issue that some people have been talking about. So this is a game that was made for the other controller. So normally you'd be out like this. My hands are actually tilted down, which I think would be the, yeah. And hopefully you all can see what I'm seeing. Yeah, I'll minimize that window there. I know it was bothering some folks. And I'll turn down the scan converter. I think you guys are hearing everything okay. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the, I got stuck here. So this is the other problem you run into with VR, is that you get stuck on things. Okay, there we go. And what I really love about VR is that you can do stuff like this. You can get down and like look at things closer. And that's one of the amazing things with this. Now, I will say, minus the jelly vision issues I'm having, this is remarkably better than the Vive. I keep saying this, but it really is. The image quality is much crisper. That frame rate makes a difference. So it's pretty good. Yeah, it's really crisp. It looks really good. There we go. Fix him up here. All right, you're all set there, buddy. The haptic feedback on the controllers, I'm hitting them right now. I'm feeling a little bit of haptic, but not a lot. Yeah, this looks so much better than the Vive did. So here's the thing with the space scene out here. Let me hold this up for a second here. The space scene out here, it looks fine. It's probably not as deep of a black as I would get on the Vive, but it's also so much crisper. So the higher resolution makes a difference. It looks like the 1080 is more than adequate here. So that's been working okay. And you can see I can walk around in this environment. Now when I get too far in the wrong direction here, what is this? That's my stair, so that means you'll start to see the boundary of your limits. Actually, I can see it in here. I'm very well beyond my boundary. That's what happened there. But good, yeah, that looks good. Good stuff. Yeah, just that jelly vision, it's just weird. It's like a rolling shutter. That is immediately noticeable, because I never saw that in the Vive, and I'm not sure, I don't think it's the display. And the headset's on tight now, so it's not flopping around all that much. This is called Droid Repair Bay, by the way, in case you're wondering. And what you do is you fix these droids, and then that's it. It's one of these short-lived kind of Star Wars experiences, so there you go. All right, now let's see if I can figure out how to get out of this. Okay, all right, so that's how you do it. So the good thing is that to exit now, you just push the button on the top of the controller, and it's not as easy to hit. So if you're doing Beat Saber or something, that will be better. Speaking of Beat Saber, why don't we jump into that real quick? So let me find Beat Saber. Here we go. All right, so we're going to switch games to Beat Saber real quick, and I'll take some more questions. Yeah, this rolling shutter thing is a problem. Everything else is great. I mean, the sound is excellent. These headphones on here, even though they don't even touch your ears, but they sound like fantastic. Yeah, so here's the issue with, see, they've got to get these things configured. So let me see what you see here on screen. Okay, good. You're seeing stuff, I think. Oh, you know what it is? I have I have some mods installed on Beat Saber, so that's why you're seeing that. Okay, there we go. All right. So let's do a quick game here. We'll just do one of the original games. And hopefully I don't get copyright struck. All right, let's see how I do here. I've actually gotten pretty good at Beat Saber. Ah, yeah, this is good. It looks so much better than before. If you don't like exercising, this is a great game because you will get a huge workout. And you actually get pretty good at it pretty quickly. I am seeing a little bit of ghosting as these things are coming at me, and I'm not sure if it's because this game doesn't yet support the frame rate. So they have to actually recode, I think, all these games to support the higher frame rates that this can do. But the field of view is definitely better, for sure. Image quality is so much better. But I am seeing some ghosting as these things are coming at me. And I think it might be because it's trying to get the frame rate boosted. Oh, I lost my chain. And yeah, that was great. So these controllers are much better for Beat Saber without question. So hopefully I looked not totally ridiculous there. So let me take a quick break here and see what you all are saying. All right. So let's see what everybody has to say here. Yeah, so combative themes, there's a lot of issues just to try to get everything working, and now there's more settings. You have these frame rate settings now that you have to contend with. So Jared is saying that it might be due to having the display extended, so that could be. What's interesting is that I was seeing this. Let me pull up my camera here. I'll tell you what, that Beat Saber game, like, that gets you going. It's a good workout. So Jared is saying he's had jelly vision when extending the displays or doing multi-video input and output. So it could be something related to that. So maybe what I'll do is when I'm done with the stream and I turn off my scan converter, we'll see what that did. Because right now I'm actually sending you the image differently than I was before. So we're using the computer's, the NDI thing that I have on the computer now versus a direct connection. Combative Things is wondering how Beat Saber is with the controllers. I actually prefer it, and here's why. On the Vive controllers, I kept hitting the Steam button because you have to like almost hold the Vive controllers. Let me get you my controller to show you what I mean. By the way, these will still work. So if you don't want to give up your Vive controllers or you want to get some, you can do that. So on the Vive controller, this will take you back to the Steam menu. So when you're playing Beat Saber and you've got it in your hand like this, it's so easy to hit that and jump back to the menu. So the knuckles there were much better. I think what I'm going to do is pop back into that hand game there too in a second. Let's see. Yeah, so 555, I went down to 120, and I think the problem, I'm guessing the problem is that they don't have Beat Saber running at that refresh rate. And I'm guessing there's some degree of tuning that the developers have to do to get their game to run at 90, which is what the Vive was running at. So we'll have to see where that goes. All right, so I'm going to go back to that hand thing that we were playing with before. So let me go load that up real quick here. And we'll pull up my 2-up view. Hopefully we don't blow a fuse in my house here. All right, let's put the chair back in. What's amazing is this stream is only using 7% of my Alienware resources, so that thing's got a lot of juice. All right, so let's put this back on. And I'm just going to go over to my hand controllers here and retighten them. Yeah, but overall, minus this rolling shutter thing, I am very pleased with it, but I'm going to see if later if maybe adjusting things makes a difference there. Yeah, you know, it could just be too how I'm wearing it. I don't know. I got it on really good right now, so I got to make note of how this feels. But I'm really, and so these headphones here on the side are remarkably good. They sound really good. I usually wear a pair of Sennheisers. They're not as good as that, but they are really good. All right, so I'm going to hit the Steam home menu here. And let's go back to Steam. And let's go over to my recents, and we'll go back to Aperture Hand Lab. All right, so we're going to put Beat Saber. What I love to do is have friends come over, and I put them inside the headset, and then I just hit them with stuff from the computer, because you can load it up and they just see it in the computer. And we make sure you are all seeing something, hopefully. It's still loading up. It's a shame that you can't see what I see in the Steam. There we go. Hopefully you're seeing all this. Yes. Okay. All right. We're going to run through this whole thing. Huh. All right, so I'm going to teleport over here. Am I going to get demonetized for that? I probably shouldn't do that. All right, so I'm going to teleport because I'm going to run out of room here. Oh, oh no. Oh, tell you, this is not good for these guys. Hi, Friendly Frank. Ooh. I do love the writing on these Valve games. They are pretty funny. They have some really good VR titles on the platform here. One, two, three. Oh. Haha. What? What? Yeah, he's cheating. There he goes. Yeah, you deserve that. Hello. See? Here's my hands. All right, let's see how this works. Oh. Oh, that didn't go well. Whoa, whoa, that was a bit disconcerting. That's one of the things with this is that, you know, you're in 3D on here, so it could really get you. That's what I love about these environments is being able to look around.
Now you have no choice
Whoa, guess not. Oops. There we go. Some neat little particle effects there. Nice 3D. It's very sensitive. I'm not even touching this trigger at all, and it's detecting. Well, I'm touching it, but very lightly. Bye-bye. That it? Oh, he's still there. Yeah, so in this dark scene here, definitely noticing the differences here between OLED and LED. There's a glow. Be cool if you could grab some of this stuff. Oop, what's that? That's my, okay, gotta be careful about this. This is one of the things you run into also, is that it's very easy to forget where you are when you're inside of these VR worlds here. All right, so that was pretty cool. And that's kind of an example of some of these VR experiences. They're very short-lived, but to some degree, it's probably good that they are because people get motion sickness and all that kind of stuff. So let me see what you all are saying in the chat room. And hopefully this has been fun. Let's see. Got a bunch of you still in here, so I'm glad you're all sticking around. Yeah, Moss, I don't have Moss yet. I should probably get that one there. So let's take a look and see what else I've got here I could try out real quick. I got a few more minutes. You know what I might try is one of the Revive games, because I have Revive installed on my PC. And what I'm eager to see is if we can get that Star Wars Vader Immortal thing to run on here. Because I purchased that for my Quest, and I ended up getting it. It was one of those cross-buy games. So if you got it on the Quest, you have it on other stuff too. So you're not going to see anything just yet, but I've got to hit my button. Where's my button? There we go. And I'm going to go to Revive. I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we'll see. I wasn't able to get it to load up the other day. Let's see if it loads. I don't know if it is. Try it again. Yeah, it's not working. I hear my PC starting to struggle a bit. Oh, it's doing something. Oh, it is working. All right. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. Okay, so we're going to do Vader Immortal. This is an Oculus game, but as you can see, but we're running it on, oh boy, yeah, that's got some ghosting going on there. I'm going to bet you that this game is not going to work well until I turn down the refresh rate, because I'm seeing a ton of ghosting when I'm turning my head around here. Oh my God. I don't know if you can see how bad this is, but yeah, I'm going to turn down the refresh rate here and see if that makes a difference here. But it does work. Okay, yeah, so let's see if you can see. Yeah, so you can't see what I'm seeing here, but this is really bad. So I'm going to quit this real quick before I get like totally zonked out of my mind on this. And let's quit this real quick. Let's go exit real quick here. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down to 90 and see if that will make that run better. That was interesting. So I think that might be part of what we're experiencing here, is that This is kind of a good example of one of those issues with games that are written for a different frame rate. So let's go down to 90. And we're going to restart Steam VR. I'm your hero, Chuck. Thank you. Thank you for watching. You're my hero for watching. Yeah, so you're not seeing the ghosting on your end, but I was definitely seeing it on mine. So let's try it now. I've reset the headset to 90 hertz. So let's see what happens here. And I'll be honest, like I am not noticing a big difference when I do that. Go from 120 to 90 to 140. It seems to be working pretty much the same across the board. So I'm going to go over here to Revive. And let's see if this improves things. So this will make this a little more complicated of a system. All right, so let's, yeah, now it's still all out of whack. Wow, it's so bad. So this could be a neat, they may have to update. Yeah, so as I'm turning my head here, I'm seeing a lot, the frames like ghosting as I'm going back and forth. And it could just be that they are in need of updating the Revive layer, because Revive basically translates Oculus to Steam. And I'm guessing that's the case here. But I'll let you all see what this is about. Yeah, so, you know, the blacks are not black on this system. It's, all right, so we'll just do, we'll start the experience here. So I'm going to soldier through this, everybody. It's not going to be a pleasurable experience for me, given the ghosting here. And this is not supposed to run on this headset. Again, this is an Oculus exclusive. Drives me crazy that they're doing this because, like, I mean, we are like, you know, 3 or 4 years into VR, and we don't have a freaking Star Wars game we can play everywhere. All right, so we're going to flick these switches here. There we go. And then we're going to... All right, here we go. Woo! This is awesome on the Quest. And I can see it looks a lot better on this, just given... But the tracking is horrible. It's just ghosting from... So you can get a look at everything here. What I love about this is just the detail that they put to this. And you can walk around in here, and it's a real, like, genuine Star Wars experience. You know, you can pick stuff up, manipulate it, look at it, throw it around if you want. It's good stuff. Yeah, and I don't think you guys are seeing what I'm seeing as far as, yeah, so you're seeing a pretty good experience. Let me close these things out here. Sorry, everybody. Oh, boy. I can't get rid of these things. All right, there you go. That should be a better look at everything. Okay. Yeah, so Revive doesn't seem to work all that well just yet, but maybe it needs to be updated. So maybe I'll check on that in a minute. So we'll teleport over here. This is one of the issues that you run into, is that you want to just be able to walk around everywhere, but you can't. So you got to do the teleporting thing. All right, there we go.
Well, looks like the main sensor antenna's been damaged. All right, let's switch to backup. Okay, let's do the next one. Switching to defense systems. Well, the deflector shields are totally offline. One more hit, we toast. Let's shut them down until we can get repaired.
But yeah, this is an excellent Star Wars game. Minus the fact that you can't fly an X-Wing fighter, which I think is still total malpractice on the part of these VR creators that we don't yet have an X-Wing game. But this is actually a pretty cool part of this experience here. So here's this huge planet. It looks freaking awesome. And then there's the Star Destroyer up there. Although it looks a little wacky on here. Oh, it's the lighting, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Even as bad as it looks in my headset right now, it's still awesome. I love even on the glass, so they have some of that dirt on the glass. And I'm gonna get out of this in a minute, it's giving me a headache. All right, that's enough. I wish I could show you more of this, but I am getting a massive headache from this. So let me get out of here. Ooh, okay, so let me take this off here for a second. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so it's a ton of fun, but right now it doesn't seem to be working all that great on Steam. So I'm going to see if I can figure out a way to update the revive system here. I wonder if the motion smoothing might do that. I don't know. We'll have to see. So let me go back to my first camera position here. I've got maybe another 20 minutes or so, everybody. So let me know what you want to see. So let me go back and see what we got here from some folks. Yeah, Revive is good. It doesn't work yet, right? I think with that game and this headset, but it generally works. And there's been people that have been getting Vader Immortal to work fine on the Vive, and it's actually a really good Star Wars experience. I played it on the Quest. It's awesome. Yeah, no, Vader Immortal is not on the on this, because it's exclusive to Oculus. So I think Oculus paid for it, so they got it, but Revive will let you make it work. Yeah, Londog, they definitely did a great job with that. It's such a great experience, and unfortunately, I got to update Revive and see if let me actually look at that while we're chatting here to see if there's been an update. Revive Valve Index. Let's see if there's something going on with that. It'd be kind of fun to see if there was something with it. I appreciate everybody bearing with me. This is like literally, I had not touched this until I started the stream, so this is like my first go at it. So I appreciate everybody's patience here. All right, let's go back to. I will say that the controller does seem to be very compatible with that, because the Revive has, or Oculus has, some degree of finger tracking on it. All right, let's take a look, and I'm going to check the Reddit for. So they have a Reddit. Let me pull it up on the big computer here so you can see it better. There is a Reddit group for. And bear with me while I pull it up here real quick. Our Valve Index. So there is a Reddit group for the Valve Index here. Apparently there's some joystick issue. I got to look into what that's all about. Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything on Revive. Let's do a quick search on here and see if anybody's talking about it. I'm finding with this VR stuff that Reddit's like the place to be. So, but you can see, and here's the other thing. When you look at, the total number of people who are actually in it, 16,000. I mean, this is not a huge market for these high-end VR systems. So it's something that I think is going to take a while. But I do think the Quest is probably doing better. And understandably so, because it's less expensive and it's self-contained. Let's see if there's a, oops, Revive. Oculus games through okay, well, that's the Index controllers. Yeah, See, this guy's having a better experience with it. But this was back, when did he do this? When did he post this? 10 hours ago. Okay, so, okay, oh, I see. He had to put graphics on low to get it to play okay. Yeah, this is something I noticed also. The blacks are getting knocked down a bit. All right, so maybe we can try to turn the graphics down. That could be why it was acting like that. So let me go back to my VR settings. Oops, I just exited VR. And let's see what we have here. I'm sorry the overlay keeps happening. Every time I load the game up, it just pops that on top of the screen. So, all right, so let's go back to settings. All right, so we're at 90 hertz. All right, so let's try Vader Immortal with the graphics turned down. And I'm going to minimize this, and hopefully that stays the same. All right, let's take one more shot at it, because it is a really fun experience. And yeah, Chuck, this is definitely, I mean, it's funny, the Vive, so Chuck is talking about how this definitely feels like an enthusiast experience, and it definitely is. And this is actually how it's been, and I think this is probably part of the problem, is that it's been kind of a hassle to get all this stuff working properly, and it still is, because there's all these components that have to work together, and I think that's one of the neat things about what is going on here. Give me a second here. All right, there we go. I think that's one of the issues with VR in general and why consumers have not widely adopted it, because you have to spend all this time. You know, to some degree, it almost reminds me a little bit of my early DOS game days, because I was just always tweaking stuff. I had a boot disk for every different game that I wanted to load up on it. So yeah, I think that's part of the issue here. What's nice on the Quest, you hit the button, it loads up and it works. Now granted, what we're doing here, this is not supposed to run on this, so that's part of the issue. And let's see if I can get this to work better here. So let's go to settings and audio, video settings, and see low. Oh, that fixed it. Okay, there you go. Much better. Okay, so we can continue on here. Much better. Okay, so hopefully you all see. Yep, you see that. And let me pull up my 2 up here so you can see what I see. There we go. All right. Ah, there we go. Okay. And I just stepped in the wrong spot here. Yeah, so now what's happening here is that I'm in the wrong spot. So I'm a little bit, whoa, look at that. That's awesome. I got to readjust here. 1 second. Yeah, it looks like I have set up a very small play area. This is another Revive issue, I think. But it looks much better now. And even in low settings here, it looks good. Whoa. Yeah, so now what he's going to do is he's going to take us down to the planet, and these TIE fighters are going to escort us down. I don't know. Why are they taking us there? But these index controllers seem to work pretty well with the, so now it doesn't have the finger resolution, but it wouldn't, because the Oculus controllers don't have that. But the good news is, if you have this headset and you turn the graphics settings down, it works. I am fully of the belief that my computer can handle the higher settings, but it still looks great. So this looks really nice. This is running at 90 frames per second. Now what's cool on the Quest is that if you turn off the, I may take one more diversion here and reload the game now that I have the settings right. Let's wait for it to get to this spot here, because then it won't keep blanking out on me. If I move my head just in one direction or the other, it like suddenly loses its... Don't shoot. All right, hang on, let me go, let me recenter. Yeah, there we go. I see, okay, so let's hit that. Let's go recenter. You know, I'm gonna quit and then go back in real quick. Just bear with me for 1 second. And I think once I get myself recentered, then we'll be in better shape. This is something else that pops up. Even, again, we're dealing with the Oculus thing here, but one thing that has happened quite often to me when I'm doing these VR games is that you get yourself out of the spot, and before you know it, things just stop working completely. So one more time, let's try this again. So go revive, Vader Immortal. Okay. And you guys are all still seeing that. Excellent. What I might do, you know what I should do, is I should turn the frame rate back up and see if it can support that. One step at a time. Let's see how we're doing here. Yeah, so I will say that this has been good so far. The big issues I'm seeing relate to that jelly vision problem. And that's the big one. But otherwise, it's very good. And now I know if I go back to the Vive, I'm not going to be satisfied because it looks so much better. This is better. Okay. So let's do this. And I think I mentioned this before, but the audio out of these headphones is great. And they can easily put them down or you can put them up. So if you want to talk to people around you, you can still hear the game and still hear people. Whoa. And now we're going to get boarded. Don't shoot. Don't shoot. What's crazy is like these guys look so real and big. Oh, they shot her. Yeah, and I can see what people are saying about the black levels on this. They just knocked me out. There is a bit of a glow here. And I don't know if that's all the display's fault. I think there's, to some degree, some of the decisions they made in developing the game here. Yeah, it is a little bit blown out. I don't think that's the fault of the headset. I think it's how they've... Look at the detail in this. Isn't this crazy? Yeah, they got to work on this. They blew out a lot of the detail on this because the Quest one looks better than this as far as the black levels are concerned. And it's not just the LEDs here. Because this room has a lot more detail. I remember on the Quest there was like the floor had tiles and was shiny. I can't even see the floor right now. But this part's awesome. This is the holocron he's trying to open. He looks big too. He's like big and intimidating. And he follows you as you walk around. Isn't that crazy? I can see why people would be afraid of Darth Vader. Like, he's tall and menacing. And that's like what I really love about this game, is that it's really an authentic Star Wars kind of experience here. Isn't that awesome? I love this game. But I'll tell you what, the detail was better on the Quest just because... oops, hit the wrong button there. Yes, I think they need to turn the gamma, like this is the developers here, like there's just a little bit missing on the detail. That, and some of the Oculus people are saying the same things. Oops. Yeah, I can't see much in here because they just totally screwed up the black levels on this. And this is not the headset again, it's just what they decided to do with it. All right. Now, what's neat on the Quest is that when you disable the room tracking, or you disable the borders, or whatever they call it, you can actually walk the whole length of this hallway. I did it outside. It was crazy. You could just walk the whole length. You could just go down there, and I could walk around a little bit in here. But you certainly would have more room in a larger space. But you can walk around a lot. I mean, this is what's one of the cool things about this room scale stuff, is that you can walk around in a Star Wars hallway, and it's cool. It's like the thing you always wanted to do. And to some degree, it's like having an amusement park in your house all the time. I'm gonna take this thing out here. There we go. Stick it in there. Oops, wrong button. The button there? That's what I'm supposed to do. Oops. There we go. This is one of those translation issues with the Quest versus the Index. Oh, I'm supposed to do something else here. Oops. So yeah, this is the button translation thing. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Yeah. Take that. I always wondered how they can knock these stormtroopers out with all the armor on. You ever wonder about that? I mean, they have like a helmet on and they can get head injuries from a fist? Uh-oh. Yeah, I'm still seeing that jelly vision on here. Yeah, so for something that doesn't run on the Vive natively, it runs pretty nicely. Or on the Index natively, it runs pretty decently here. Let me show you one other cool thing here. So let's go to the main menu. And they have a lightsaber mode. You end up battling lightsabers later on in the game. It takes a while to get to that part. You got to climb ladders. It's like about half hour to get there. But they have a dojo where you can practice. Invader's Dojo. Yeah, so there's more settings on this than I expected, because it looks like you do have to manually switch it into those higher frame rates. Yeah. All right, so blaster bolts here. I am feeling some pressure on my nose, by the way. There's definitely some discomfort at the top of my nose where this thing hits, and that's where the least amount of padding is. Because I've been in this thing now for about an hour, you know, off and on. So I'm definitely feeling pressure on my face. So there's a bit of discomfort. They could probably fix that with a different kind of face mount. But I'm definitely feeling some pressure on my forehead and on my nose. That's pretty cool. Good stuff. All right, let me get out of this. And I'll take some more questions and then see if you guys want to look at anything else. How do I quit this game here? Let me go do any other thing here. Oh, yeah, I'm starting to feel a little fatigued. Not sick or anything, just fatigued. I get like that if I go into these things for too long. But I'm definitely feeling, here, let me switch my camera view here. You might see my face have some marks on it. So I'm feeling the most pressure like right here and on the bridge of my nose. And you know, you really want to keep that screen as close to you as possible. So there's definitely a discomfort level right here at the top of my head, which is the least padded part of the headset. So there's that. Let's see what else we got. So 555, yes, there is a camera, and I think you can turn it on and look outside. I got to play with that. Resolution is, I think it's the equivalent of like 1440p or so. I have to check the actual. Let me look that up real quick. It is higher than the Vive, so that's definitely something that you'll notice. Let's see what the resolution is. I knew what it was. I just, you know, it's late. The resolution is 1440 by 1600, so it's more. HP has one that's better, just so you know. It sounds like James Earl Jones's voice, Chuck. That definitely does. Combative Things wants to know if I ever tried any cable management solutions. No, I haven't. I probably should. You know, I basically just put it all in a basket when I'm done. I have a little basket I keep everything in, so that's usually what I end up doing with it. So let me go back to the VR settings here. And, well, that's weird. It's like locked up again. Let's see. All right, there we go. Yeah, so let's put it back on 120. And we'll try maybe one more game. I'm going to look and see which games support the index higher frame rate specifically. So maybe we'll do a quick Google search for that and see what we get there. Oops. And I'll update my controllers a little bit later too. So let's take a look at Valve Index. And let's see if there's anything that we can find here. All right, so there are 30 supported games here. Let me switch over to my other screen. According to VR Scout. So these are the ones, so let's see what I have. So we did Beat Saber, and we saw some ghosting in Beat Saber, even at that 120 hertz. So I wonder if it needs to get updated, because I think everything's up to date here. Yeah, so Steam VR. Let me go back to my games list here and see if Beat Saber has an update. So you're going to have to switch back and forth, I'm guessing, for games that don't necessarily support it yet. So although it says Beat Saber supported it, I was seeing some ghosting on that. Super Hot, Aperture Hand Lab, which we tried out. Arizona Sunshine. Oh, these are the index controllers. Okay, so this is not just, so that's not necessarily the higher frame rate. So let's see what else is supporting it here. Space Pirate Trainer supports them. And the other games will work. It's just that they will work better if it directly supports it. So I would love for anyone, maybe we'll do one more thing before I switch off here. So let me go over to my other computer and see if there's any suggestions for something we should try next. And then Aaron Johnson wants to know if there's a car game in VR. There is, but it's not, the one I was playing was not great because it wasn't a true VR experience. So I think I've accumulated a lot of stuff here. Is it Project Cars maybe? Whatever it was not good. It was good, I mean the game is good, but the VR mode was not good. This one I haven't tried yet, and I've been eager to. So let me see what... Yeah, Lon Dog, I'm going to definitely try that out. I don't think, so just to give you an idea of what the streaming overhead is right now, if we look at, so right now the VR is active, and so it's not moving around. So maybe if I move the headset around here and trigger the GPU a little bit. So we'll start moving that around here. So we're using about 68% of the GPU to do that. And my NDI streaming is not really getting impacted here. So even with what I'm doing, 'cause I'm actually not streaming from the PC that we're broadcasting from. So I've got a separate, my little Alienware here is doing the streaming. But I'm going to, because my big concern right now is that jelly vision I'm seeing. So I want to see, if when I'm not doing all this streaming, if that makes a difference. All right, let's try House of the Dying Sun, because I've been meaning to play this and I never got around to it. So we're going to boot that up. I think this one's a seated experience, so this will be a little bit different. So let's go over there, and I've got maybe 20 minutes or so before the kids and the wife come back. So let me put this on. Yeah, so I'm going to probably have to spend some more time with this, trying to work out some of these questions with it. It's fine. I mean, it's not a bad experience by any means. But there's just a few things here and there that I'm noticing that I want to spend some time with some other index owners and see if they have some solutions to it. All right, so we went back to 120 hertz if I'm not mistaken. And let's go pull up Steam real quick here. Maybe we'll do two games here. We'll look at my library. And we did the hand lab. That was pretty cool. So let's go VR, House of the Dying Sun. This is like a space... okay, so I have to plug in my gamepad. So let's get my gamepad out real quick. And thank you, David, for your contribution. I appreciate that. We're burning the midnight oil here today. So I'm going to activate my Xbox controller here. Let me get the 2-up view going. All right, so the Xbox controller going here. This is one of those things you got to end up like accumulating all this stuff, and the Xbox controller doesn't track inside of the VR system, so you have to make sure you know where you put it. All right. So I've got the controller out now. I'm going to take the hand controllers down for a second. And I can't, of course, see the controller here, but I can. All right, so I have to play in VR. Let's see. It should work. Oops. There we go. Play in VR. Oops. So apparently, what a pain in the butt. So it keeps seeing these controllers, and when it sees the controller, it stops working. All right, let's go back to, all right, go home. Let's try this one more time here. So now I got the controller in my hand. Let's see if that makes it better. All right, you will see something shortly, everybody. I just need to get to the Steam menu once again. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like, you know, you got to have the right controller. And I've got the controller connected, but it's like, no, you don't have it connected. All right, so let's go back to Steam, desktop, back to Steam. You all can't see what I'm seeing right here, but it's just a pain in the you know what. All right, there we go. Let's see it. It keeps going back here. What a pain in the... All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to start this from the desktop, and hopefully it will pick it up after that. So let's do that real quick. Play in VR. Okay. Now I'm going to put the controllers over here because it doesn't use those. All right. A little space fighter action. And hopefully, these are the kind of games that can make you yak. All right, and press the right stick button to calibrate your VR headset. Okay. All right, so let's play. And hopefully you can all see this. Yes, let me make this full screen so you can see it better. There you go. All right. Oh, this is not what I thought it was. Okay. What the heck is this? I didn't think this. Oh, it was like a space. Maybe it is. Let's go do some training here. All right. Unit not under player control. Oh, I see. Okay, so I gotta go to my ship first. What do you? D-pad down and control this. There we go. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm in my space fighter here. Oh. So my friend Doug would love this game if it doesn't make him sick. Look at all this stuff. All right. All right, there we go. So that's moving forward. Yeah, they got to get No Man's Sky working on this soon, because I'm really looking forward to that. All right. Press right stick to what? I didn't see what that was. All right, steering. Okay. Success. Woo! Rolling. Whoa, ooh. All right. Yeah, so that's one of those things. I'll play around with that one a little bit more later. Whew, okay, so let's see what else we got. I don't get sick that often, but you know, it's funny, like I do get a little, not nauseous, but a little discombobulated from that. VR chats. So I have not done VR chat before, so maybe I should try that. Do I have that? I don't think I have VR chat, so let's go store featured. All right, one last thing, we'll look at VR chat. So all of you are saying I should do that. Do I have, is VR chat in here? I don't see it in there. All right, let's go back to what I have, VR. There was one, oh, you know what I should try? Oh, you guys got to see this. This is worth it. Bear with me for 1 second here. This is what we're going to end on here. I just got to find it. Here it is. Okay. I wonder if this is going to work still. So this is, here, I'm just going to let you see this for yourself. And let me get full screen here. Okay, I guess it's biggest it's going to get is that. All right, so let's run with it. All right, now what this is. Yes, this is exactly what you think it is. And some guy, this is years ago, took Duck Hunt and put it in VR. And I guess got to find my way around here to get the hands on the controller. All right. All right, so let's go over to, yes, so this is Duck Hunt. I saw a system message pop up. Hey, Doug, you're broadcasting your messages out to the world here. Let's see. What do we got here? Okay, hang on 1 second. I'm just going to turn off my notifications for a second here. Give me 1 second. How do I do not disturb? Okay, there we go. So you can't just like turn off notifications on. Yeah, there we go. All right, let's try this again. Oops. All right, here we go. So this is, you have to appreciate this. This is like Duck Hunt, but you're in VR. And it looks, it's so good. And it's a shame, like, if this guy made this and then he just kind of went away. Because Nintendo would totally have taken this down. They probably have already. But I downloaded it before it went away. And so the ducks are all around you here. Look at how nicely modeled this is. It is backwards. Isn't this cool? I thought that was neat. So that is Duck Hunt. Pretty fun stuff. So that is that. Yeah, we do need Super Mario. So yeah, this is, by the way, this is just a hamper of stuff. This is a blanket that, I think it's my Star Wars blanket or something. I don't know. We were cleaning up the room, and this was like the last bit of it. All right, so I gotta shut down here in a second, everybody. But I hope this was kind of a fun little VR experiment. So it's good. I mean, I'm impressed with it. The big thing that I'm noticing with it so far is the jelly vision. That's something that I gotta work on and research. It's not bad, but I'm noticing it in places, so I need to look into this a little bit more. The other thing with it is comfort. It's definitely, and it's funny, the Quest has the same issue, right in this part of my face. I start to feel that pressure. Actually, the Quest, it was here and here, but and I better make notes of this after I'm done here. On the index, it is mostly just a square of my forehead here. So that that was it. I'm glad you all enjoyed this, by the way, because this is really my work in progress. This is like when I'm, just learning how to do things here. So I'm kind of just feeling my way around this thing. So those are the only two real gotchas at the moment. I am going to update the firmware on the controllers because there is an update available for that. I don't see a big difference between 90, 120, and 144, and I don't know if it's the game's not supporting it or what. One thing I did notice with Beat Saber was some ghosting as those blocks were coming at me, so I'm going to have to see what's going on with that. So we'll have to see what comes out of this. But this is good. I mean, what's amazing is that when you put this on for the first time, you will never want to pick up your Vive again because the quality of the display is that much better. The field of view is slightly better, but that's all it needs to be better. It's just slightly better than before because it really is much better. And my understanding is that if you wear glasses, it will not be as good as what I've just experienced without glasses. So that's something to keep in mind there. I hope you all got a good view of what I was seeing with it because it looks so. Here's the thing, it's really hard to, oops, I lost my focus on the camera, there it goes. The thing that's really hard for me to convey, maybe I'll turn screw it. What's really hard for me to convey is the depth that you sense inside of these VR things. This is why it's so compelling, is that not only are your head being tracked and your hands being tracked properly, but everything is in 3D. And it's not like you're looking at a screen, it really fills up your field of view, and it feels like you're in that environment. So it's really, really cool. But what I think is going to happen with this is that this is going to be yet another thing you got to configure, because now you've got different parameters for the headset itself. You're probably going to have graphic adjustments to make inside the game. So yeah, I mean, when do you do 120 versus 144 versus 90 versus 80? I don't know. I guess maybe it's based on what your graphic card can do. Some games are going to push things harder than others. So it's going to be a lot of additional now settings, one more at least for the refresh rate. So that's something I'm picking up here as I'm going. So yeah, I mean, it's good. I'm actually very happy with my purchase. I liked the Vive. It's been a lot of fun to play with. This is better. And I'm looking forward to seeing what developers do with these knuckle controllers. I think there's been some complaining about them, but I'll tell you what, I've been pleased with the comfort. It's better. The game that I play the most in VR, believe it or not, is Beat Saber, and it seems to work better for that. And what I like about them also is that you don't have the issue of having to hold the controller all the time. So as long as you've got this tension pulled on the little tension grip thing here, it stays in your hand. Doesn't go anywhere. It feels really good. So that's just much better than what we had before. Where did I put that Vive controller? I'll show you. The Vive controller, you had to hold it all the time. The controller, here's the difference. The controller here holds you versus you holding the controller. So that's a big change. So yeah, the tracking is good. It feels as good as the other one did, and we'll have to see what goes on there. So yes, so in the morning I will have the Pocket Go review posted. So look out for that, and I'll probably do something with the index. I got to figure out how I'm going to go about it. I did record this entire session, so I have B-roll footage. So I'll probably talk a bit about my experiences with it so far. I got to figure out this Jellyvision thing and research that, and we'll see where it goes from there. So in any event, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the stream. It was funny. I think you all were just watching, because I had about 70, 77, 78 in all night. So you've all been doing pretty good stuff, just watching. And what I would suggest you do now is leave my stream and go over to Smoke Monster's stream, because he's playing with that new flash cartridge for the Sega Genesis. So go check it out. It's good stuff. All right, everybody, I'm going to run over here to my computer and stop the stream. But I want to thank you all for tuning in and kind of joining me as I've been doing this. And if you've enjoyed this, maybe we'll do more of this kind of stuff in the future too. So let me know what you thought down in the comments below. And that is going to do it for tonight's stream. Good night, everybody.